Everybody, welcome to another episode of Age of Quarantine. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with me. My name is Chris Enriquez. I am your host. Tonight is a very exciting episode. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff with Pustulus of GWAR, the legendary GWAR. Scumdogs of the Universe, the legendary iconic record, just turned 30. So, super fucking important record, and especially in their career. But if you're a GWAR fan or just a fan of aggressive music, that was a landmark release. You can actually buy a exclusive of that reissue from Revolver Magazine at revolvermag.com. If you want to check that out, if you're a vinyl junkie like I am, you can go on revolvermag.com and pick that up. There's also a lot of cool articles about the band, specifically around that time period. The band has gone through so many different changes due to, of course, unfortunate deaths. R.I.P. Dave Brockie, the founder and former lead singer. But the GWAR family lives on, and I had the pleasure of seeing them before the pandemic with Unearthed in Brooklyn, and they put on an incredible show. They're just keeping it going, man. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk to Pustulus, and he should be joining us shortly. So we're just going to hang tight and wait for him so that we can get him on the screen. Let me just see what's going on here. Oh, there he is. All right. I just sent him an invite, and turn this off. Let me get rid of that, even though that song rules. But yes, and if you have any questions, there he is.
Oh, hey, what's happening?
Thank you for joining me, my friend. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. You know, just dumpster diving and getting wasted and shit like that.
Fuck yeah, man. You look amazing. I'm just excited that you're here and joining us for the hour so we can talk about what you've been up to, and yeah, man, and the fans are excited. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to leave them in the question mark box, and I'll do my best to get to them. Man.
So I'm trying to put my COVID mask on for the interview.
Oh man, there you go. Look at that.
And these sweet double D's.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
that's
yeah. They throw this stuff at us when we play, and as a symbol of our conquest.
That's dedication, man. People are going out of their way to make sure they get you some badass masks on stage.
Oh yeah.
Pustulus, I actually, that's one of my questions I'm going to get to at some point. Is I want to talk about some crazy shit that's happened. Whether it was with fans off stage or on stage. But let me just start with the most generic question. Obviously, have you been managing to get through this crazy time, man?
Well, selling a lot of drugs to kids, and Pornhub has been running a lot of specials on their premium, so that's been pretty cool. I would highly recommend checking into it if you haven't already. They do like free weeks. Oh yeah. You can. The categories are getting more in depth, more specific. So.
I mean, if we're lucky, if GWAR can't go on tour anytime soon, maybe we'll see some of you guys getting to other lines of work, and they might have to have a new category on Pornhub. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, and I think NAMBLA seems to be doing pretty good. A lot of right wingers think that pedophilia is normalizing again, and I guess we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if that actually manifests into reality.
Yes, we certainly will, man. I like to start at the beginning. GWAR has had quite a journey over the past. I was just talking about how Scumdogs turned 30 years just recently, which is wild. And I know you joined in the middle of the journey, right at the passing of Flatus Maximus. Can you talk about what that was like, that whole time period of coming in to the fold?
Well, like the first fucking, couple of years were just a nightmare. There were trying times for all of us. Come in the band because we lost Vitus Maximus, and it was a dear friend of mine as well as a cousin. We're related. We're from the Maximus clan, and then shortly after, Utterus Urungus passed away, and then I attempted suicide unsuccessfully a couple of times. Like, I kept shooting the bullets through, the parts of my brain I didn't use, so I survived. And now I just have the Deadpool going on in some of the other members of the band, but in all actuality, it's just like the band has been jumping over monumental hurdles for a long fucking time. And it seems like we finally reached a place where we could, focus on, writing some creative music that wasn't fucking tragic.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, the minute we start to gain some stride, the COVID thing happens, and but what are you going to do? Everybody's in the same boat. It's not just us. So we can't really bitch but so much.
I'll take a couple comments here. At I am Jamil, but only on the weekends. She says, I hate when I shoot the wrong part of my brain. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. You could, if you get that front temporal lobe, you'll just be lobotomized.
Yeah,
I know y'all saw Ratchet on Netflix. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
We're gonna jump around a little bit, but I do like to engage with the audience a little bit. So you guys keep the comments coming, and I'll get to your questions in a little bit. Speaking of the quarantine, though, you guys were on CNN, and it was dubbed the Quarantine, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience and what that was like?
Well, like a quarantine experience, or just being on CNN?
Well, okay, two things. Yeah. Well, so talk about being on CNN, and then let's talk about the quarantine.
Well, CNN was, I don't know, it's news. They like to edit out a bunch of stuff, cool stuff, and they run with what they think is popular. But whatever, they were nice enough to bring us on the show, which is, I can't complain too much about that kind of exposure. Normally the type of exposure I desire winds up with like restraining orders and can't come within schools and stuff like that. But this is good exposure, as they like to say. And then just this quarantine, we all retreated to our little strongholds all over town. I laid out of work for a while and eventually went back to it. Back in Antarctica, where basically home base is. I went back to work at Burger King. There's a Burger King at the Air Force base that I work at, and I work in the back as a line cook.
Oh, they're keeping you alive over there, man.
Yeah, you got to make some money somehow. I got a lot of child support to pay.
Man, well, the quarantine, man. I've been watching some of the stuff that you've been doing, and I wanted to, well, before we talk about the live stream, we'll talk about how you've been interviewing some artists. I watched Lizzie, Hale of Hailstorm. Who else have you had on the show? And also, like, who else can we expect? I'm sure you have some upcoming guests. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, Lizzie Hale was great. That she astounded me. I had no idea, because I only listened to three bands. I listened to Motorhead, AC/DC, and the Ramones, and sometimes GWAR. So like 3.5 bands. And so I was kind of ignorant to the whole, world of Hailstorm and stuff. And but she's got a lot of talent, and so she set the bar pretty high. So now we can't interview anybody that sucks. I was actually able to interview Dennis DeYoung from Styx.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that was pretty cool. That's another talented old guy, and I'm sure many of our young fans don't even know who that is, but the songs. And
I'm right there with you, man. I'm about to turn 40. I'm right there with you.
I tried really hard to get him to talk shit on Tommy Shaw, but he won't do it. He won't do it on camera. He'll talk some shit, so we got him, and we're really trying to, we found out how hard it is to do a show, how much how much time it really fucking takes. Because, you know, we're trying to do that. We tried to do this rehearsals for this live stream thing we just did. So it's like between running a sketch comedy show and interviewing celebrities everywhere. I mean, we got Jazz Coleman the other week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and he had a lot to say. And I think what's cool as well is we're putting these chopped up interviews on the variety show we're doing, but we're also airing the unedited full interview, kind of like a podcast or something, on YouTube as well. So, I mean, we're just rolling with the punches, man. We're trying to figure out how to stay relevant in this fucking shit where we can't tour, you know, trying to do something entertaining. You know, my OnlyFans got banned for bestiality, and it wasn't even, I mean, I was having sex with my real girlfriend, not an animal, you know.
Oh man!
But I have knobs or nodules all over my wiener, so it kind of looks like a horse cock.
Oh man! Well, I love
the
that.
size. It's a man cock sized horse looking cock.
Yes. Well, I mean, I love that you are staying busy and staying positive and creative, and everybody can check out the interviews you've been doing on YouTube, like you said. So if you haven't seen it already, everybody out there watching, please check that out. We talked about the live stream for a second, but I want to get into it more. We have a question though from someone out there from @HotPiss. Will Scum
hot piss on the tip of my lips?
There we go. We got hot piss in the house. Will the Scum Dogs live stream be a DVD?
That's what we're planning on. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. You know, we didn't really know what we were going to come out with on the other side of that thing. And fucking that, the audio just turned out fucking great. You know, we had a really talented guy behind the mixing console for that thing. And you know, we took some time in setting it up. So I'd like to see a live record from that session. And also, yes, a live DVD as well. But, you know, it's like, who buys DVDs anymore? So it's like, do we do DVD? Do we do Blu-ray? Do we put it on streaming services? You know, I'm thinking maybe you just pay me $7 and I'll hand them out. But you got to come down to Boulevard and Broad in Richmond, Virginia between 3 and 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. And you can buy burned copies from me on the corner.
There you go, man. Well, I'll tell you this much. People love the audio from it. Those of you who are commenting right now think it sounds great. And, you know, I don't want to speak out of line here, but, you know, at my company at Revolver, we would love to work with you guys on some kind of exclusive vinyl on a live record. So maybe I can talk to your people after this is over. But
yeah, let's do it, man, because it was such a really fucking cool event, you know. And I mean, just having Techno Destructo back and having his energy in the room, you know, even though he's our arch nemesis and I hate him, but he's great at the same time. You know, he adds a lot to the show. And, you know, and many people don't know, he was one of the early creative geniuses that, you know, helped spark a lot of the early GWAR lore. And, you know, we wouldn't be here without him. And, you know, I would love to have him around more often. I actually want him to tour with the band, so it'll help break us up faster. I think that would be hilarious. But, you know, so we had Slamenstra Hyman back. We had the Sexecutioner back. And it's great to have all these people under one roof. So, I mean, just the fact that, like, why wouldn't we try and put it out, you know, something special? But, you know, we're not just going to shit out a DVD or something. We're trying to find other cool shit to, like, put with it to make, you know, maybe bundle it with the original Live from Antarctica or something like that.
Yeah. And
we'll get
by
there.
the way, people could still go and go online and buy tickets to watch it. Am I right?
I think so. It's like available for another like week. No, another couple of days maybe.
Okay.
I thought it was like early November it cuts off.
All right. Well, if you haven't gotten enough of Pustulus tonight, and after this you want to go watch that, you can go on their website and socials and figure out how to watch that. There's still time.
Yeah, man. I even wore Flatus Maximus armor, dude.
Fuck yeah, man.
You know, as like a little, as like an homage to my fallen brethren.
Absolutely, and I want to talk about some of our fallen brethren. I want
to till the 14th. Sawboard Destructo says till the 14th you can watch the stream, man.
Oh, fuck yeah! So there
you can watch it on your phone while you're pissing, so you can be streaming us while you're streaming in the piss bowl. Hot Piss. That's a great name for Instagram, by the way, because I don't know if you've ever heard of the Yellow River Boys, but that is an amazing record. It's like 10, 12 songs about pee. It's all about pee and drinking pee and getting peed on, and it's country music, you know.
I mean, hey, man, I'd prefer watching it while I was taking a dump. I don't know about you guys, but, like, that's when I'm really getting into my fucking phone and watching videos, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, whatever.
That's how I'm doing this interview.
There you go.
I'm dumping right now.
Okay, I'm going to take a couple questions. At Richard Forsanita wants to know, will we get more Pusty's mailbag? I got a bunch of dumb questions for you. Well, real quick, Richard, you can ask those questions here too, by the way. I'll take them, but I'll let you answer that.
I mean, yeah, you can answer. You got to send those dumbass questions to pustysmailbag@gmail.com and shit, and I'll answer the fuck out of them. But they got to be good, because sometimes they're awful. Sometimes people ask really stupid questions, and they're not even just. It's not stupid haha. It's like stupid sad.
Yeah.
You know, like sad, I made the choice to hinge a whole segment of the show on user submitted content. You know, I'm only as funny as you make me.
I get it. I get the dumb questions every night when I do this, so I get it too. I got to field them. We're talking a little bit about how great the band sounded on the live stream, and I don't want to walk away from that yet, but I got some nerdy gear questions here. Bobertron wants to know, what's the deal with the JCM? For any gear nerds out there, he's talking about an amplifier. What's the deal with the
Marshall
belonging to
Marshall JCM 800. I got it. Man, I got that thing probably like 15 some years ago or some shit, but I got it off, you know, eBay back when these things were actually affordable. You know, you don't even want to know what I paid for this thing. It was under $1,000 for sure. And just a 50-watt Marshall JCM 800 from 1987. And so after I bought it and got it home, and I thanked the guy that sold it to me, he calls and says, hey, just want you to know, like, I play guitar in Kiss Army, and I bought that head I got it from Ace Frehley.
Wow.
And he goes, but I can't prove it, so I didn't put it in the auction. You know, he's basically like, I got no certificate of authenticity, but I was like, there's no reason for him to tell me that after I already gave him money. So I gotta assume it's kind of fucking true. And that's one of the main heads that head is I rehearse with it at home, but I took that amp and because it sounds so good, and it's not really that dissimilar from just a regular 50-watt 800, but a couple of parts had drifted a little bit here and there, so I actually took it out with a multimeter. I measured every component, wrote it down. I got another amp from 1987, the same model, and I basically went in and made sure that all the parts matched exactly that. So I essentially took another head and cloned the Ace Frehley head. And yeah, it sounds great, man. That's been my tone. I started out in this band using like angle amplifiers, but it wasn't really my thing. Angle's great, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't my sound. And so I just went back to my roots. So I've been playing an 800 and GWAR ever since.
Well, there you go, Barbertron. There's the answer to your question. And someone earlier, while we're talking about the legendary Ace Frehley, someone wanted to know what your favorite three riffs, your favorite three Ace Frehley riffs were, if you could share that with us.
Ace Frehley riffs, man. I don't know. I mean, I just really like the opening lines of like "Shock Me" and you know, the solo and fucking "I Stole Your Love." You know, and it's like I don't know. "I Stole Your Love" it's a cool song, but it's like it's such a hard song to get a crowd reaction to live. You know, but he just, I mean, Ace just had these. I mean, Ace is not like the quintessential guitar player to me. You know, he's great, I respect his ability a lot, but I mean, I more gravitate towards guys like Johnny Thunders and fucking, you know, Fast Eddie Clark from Motorhead, and you know, even guys of my own generation like Euro Boy from Turbo Negro. I mean, those players are kind of, I love the rock sound, you know, and just it's not about rock and roll specifically, but rock players that can outplay metal players is what I think is fucking sick.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you, man. It's got a little
like a band like
too. Yeah.
Yeah, like bands like, you know, you watch a couple death metal bands and you're like, cool. But then you see like a band like Zeke, like it's a punk rock band and they're playing riffs and fucking lead guitar like faster than the fucking black metal band that just played before them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, that shit is amazing to me. You know, it's like you got more of a tougher attitude and you can be a little bit more aggressive and in your face because it's real. You're not hiding behind a fantasy and shit, you know, which, like, no disrespect to death metal, but, you know, it's all, aside from GWAR, you know, GWAR is really killing people, but, you know, Cannibal Corpse is not. So, I mean, there's a little bit of a fantasy island thing there, you know, because all this is for real. You know, this is
absolutely 100%. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I just wake up every day and just be myself.
Well, so this is awesome because we're touching upon a lot of different things here, and I'm gonna talk a little bit. We talked about CNN before and how you're doing some cool content. You guys have always historically and before your time, you know, GWAR was on Joan Rivers and Jerry Springer, Fox News. I don't know if that was during your time, but can we expect any more news or talk show appearances? Is Conan or Jimmy Kimmel knocking on your guys' door these days? What's going on in the talk show world?
I don't know, man. You know, I really feel like, you know, as relevant as we are to a political conversation, I feel like with the current political climate, news agencies are too afraid to go out on a limb and have somebody as dangerous as GWAR on their show, you know, because they know we're going to speak unequivocal truth in every fucking case of the matter. And they don't want that right now. You know, it's like, the news outlets, they're so up their own ass, you know. They want to keep you engaged and keep you fear based. And I think the last, like, you know, 4 years had nothing to do with even Trump, but just the last 4 years, I think the AI in Facebook is also driving the news agencies to reformat what their take on reality is. Yeah. You know, because it's like now it seems like you're being funneled things that keep you more engaged and not necessarily the truth or the actual news. So I don't know what the fuck the future holds for that shit. It's like, and you know, part of the biggest problem with the Trump campaign to begin with, you know, going back to Trump actually, is he wanted to create this air of doubt in the news media, which the intended byproduct and the side effect of that was to create a doubt in truth, you know. So I mean, and it's not just a right thing, you know, it's a left thing as well. You know, there's just so many instances where you can be shown proof, a factual piece of evidence, you know, and then people will just deny it because it doesn't suit their own narrative, you know. And we're going to keep this divide in the country. I mean, man, we're fucked. We're so fucked. Who did you vote for anyway?
Fucking, I voted for Biden, man. I'm not saying that he's...
you know, my friend works at St. Vitus, Manny. He told me that you voted for Trump, and I went and found... That never happened. I found your ballot in the trash. It says right here, Chris Enriquez ballot, Trump with a check mark. I knew it. Because they're throwing away masses of ballots. I'm gonna throw this one away. I won't turn this in, man. Your secret's safe with me. But that fucking, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You just make some shit up and people will fucking believe it.
No, man, you know? I feel you, and I just want to say that I'm glad that GWAR is outspoken about this and lets the people know, you know, what you all think. And I watched I watched GWAR in Brooklyn with Unearth at Warsaw not too long ago, right before this shit went down. And I appreciated you guys poking fun at this clown of a president that we have. Can we expect that when you guys can go back out and play again, that recent events may inspire some interesting things that we might be able to witness on stage?
We always try to stay current with everything, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like what a lot of people don't realize about GWAR is that we go up there, we have a set list like every other band. We're just going to play some rock songs. But then these people just come out of fucking nowhere and try and sabotage our show, and we have to defend ourselves, you know, lethally sometimes, you know, like Donald Trump just comes out on stage every night. I don't know how he gets there every night, but we have to dispatch him, you know, because it's when you're on our stage, man, it's us or them.
That's right.
You know, I can't sacrifice. You know, you don't get near a ball sack, I'll rip your fucking guts out.
Yeah, there
you know,
you go.
so that's.
Yeah.
But you know, I think we just attract a lot of attention. You know, Donald Trump was a huge fan of the band before, you know, we started killing him, and so I think now. You know, he just wanted to be a part of the show. He wanted to get eaten by the maggot and all that stuff. But you know, we're not down with that. You can't just ask to be a part of GWAR. It doesn't work like that. So you know, who knows? You know, maybe even Sleepy Joe will try to come up in here and
man, those
fucking take a nap on stage or
into
something.
Some kinky shit, man. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? And
you know, maybe Kamala Harris will come out on stage, and she might be haunted by the ghosts of all the men she's had wrongfully incarcerated over the years.
Yeah,
you know, the gloves are off, man. It's no limits, dude. It's just like, I'm glad we got rid of fucking orange sherbet and everything, you know, but it's just like one hurdle to get over. You know, the battle's not done. You know, motherfuckers all think that, you know, we got them out and we're good now. It's like, no, the world's still a fucked up place.
I couldn't agree.
You know, we still got a lot of changes to go. You know, it's just all this is just at least it's a fucking baby step in the right direction.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And I by the way, I had a comment from Derek Neglect. What up, man? Shout out to you. We're gonna talk about Scum Dogs in a little bit. It's on my list of questions. Don't worry. Oh, you got a cool story to tell. Slemenstra grabbed me by the hair on the crowd once and shot me in the face with blood from her crotch. That's great. Love it.
That's sweet.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that is sweet. So, okay, I want to talk about a couple other things before we move on. GWAR was on Adult Swim, Fish Center. Tell me what that was all about. Tell me what that experience was like.
Oh, yeah, they called us to tell us it was on TV after it aired. But that's okay, because I don't have a TV in my house, except for I got one of those things I play Mario Brothers all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, that was cool. You know, they just asked us to do some shit about fish in a bowl or whatever. So, you know, we got high and played some tunes in a fish tank. It seemed right. You know, we brought our own fish. They didn't tell us that fish were going to be provided, so we had our own fish in the thing. I don't understand what Fish Center is still to this day,
hey,
even though we were on it.
On there, man. Oh, maybe you could provide some insight here to people that want to support you during these tough times. At Alyssa Diane, I hope I'm saying that correctly. How can your fans best support GWAR right now? What can they do?
You can Venmo me $100 at Pustulus.com. Hey Alexa, Venmo Pustulus Maximus. Got to turn your speakerphone on for that to work. But no, I mean, really just, you know, buy our records, you know, and go to the store and check out some fucking merch that you might be interested in. You know, I wish there was something else, you know, like we could do some more shows or something, because our road crew is fucking, you know, non-existent right now. We've actually, you know, rather than see them suffer, you know, I've had to take a couple out behind the barn and put them down. But, you know, those guys need work too. So I don't know. It's fucking, it sucks, man. It's so weird that there's no shows. We had a drive-in show You know, dude, that was the first time I've gotten a DUI at the show that I was playing. You know,
Yeah.
I thought, but it's fucking crazy, man.
It is absolutely nuts.
But you know, we did do a drive-in show locally. But yeah, support the band, man. Buy our shit. Keep a keep an eye out for our YouTubes and Facebooks and stuff, because we're coming out with a lot of cool products. You know, the release that we just did, the 30th anniversary of Scum Dogs, that's all us, man. That's all in-house. So I mean, when you buy those records, especially off of our website, that shit's coming directly from the band, and there's no, right now we're releasing these things under our own label. We founded our own label called Pit Records, and we've just kind of dipping our toes in the water. We've had a long relationship with Metal Blade, and while we haven't separated from Metal Blade by any means, it was just like, we do retain ownership of a lot of our materials, so it's like, well, why not sell this stuff directly to our fans, where we can kind of control every aspect of it artistically and creatively. And that was the big thing behind doing this box set was, the band we wanted to have our hands in every facet of it, and we wanted it to come out when we wanted, by our own schedule. We wanted to do different things with it. We wanted to listen to what the fans wanted. We wanted to make it cool to them. And, when you're doing that kind of shit with, on somebody else's dime, they got a say in how it comes across. And no disrespect intended, but we wanted this thing to be special, and it meant that it had to come from us. I think that being said, because we wanted the misprints like on the record. We left out track number 9. It's on the record, but we wanted that. The record label would have been like, no, you have to correct that. But then how would they know it came from us?
Right. So speaking of the fans, Ali Varga wants to know, will there be any GWAR Christmas merchandise coming anytime soon?
Christmas merchandise? Maybe we should do a little Christmas special. GWAR Christmas. Christmas.
I think people would love that.
I think the Christmas special is just going to be me boiling a turkey in hot oil and getting horribly burned by it. Like a man gets hit in groin by football, and I'll just burn my belly fat off.
Hey, you know what? Let's look at this one. We got something from somebody over here who must like your belly fat. At Love H, why is Pusty so hot? I don't know if you have
I don't know. You have bad taste in men. That's why.
There you go.
That's why.
So your bandmate Balzac was on Mr. Skin Live podcast, Mangina Dialogues. Can we expect you to go on there at any point?
I guess so. I don't have a Mangina, but I will gladly be on the Mangina Dialogues and talk about him. He's got a, would you call that a Mangina? He's got a vagina with teeth.
Oh shit!
And 4 dicks, and I'm sitting over here with my one dick, feeling like a chump, and I haven't listened to his Mangina Dialogues yet. Dude, I work fucking 10s at the Burger King.
Yes, well, maybe somebody needs to call you Burger King and get you over to the Mangina Dialogues. That might be a fun conversation to have you be part of. No, but seriously, I know people are waiting for this to be talked about. The reissue of the 30th anniversary of Scum Dogs, the Universe, just happened. My company, Revolver, partnered up with y'all on that, and people have been buying them like hotcakes, man. There's still some products out there that people could pick up either from you guys or from us, but it's all GWAR shit. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can pick up. Talk about the importance and significance of that record, because as I said in the intro, not only is it a landmark record for the history of GWAR, but it's an important record in just heavy music, period. I'd love to get your take on that album.
Well, it's I just found out I can make my chair go up. Whoa. Oh shit! All right. The importance of Scum Dog's universe, so the band had, made a very strange attempt at creating a record in the 80s called Hello, and just no is all I have to say about Hello, hell no. And while it's an interesting artifact, it does not, I don't think it really even defined the band then, but Scum Dogs was, in the history of GWAR, it was the album that solidified the sound, that defined the band, that helped the band kind of come into their own, and basically that would have been, that's the picture that gets shown to the world. My first impression of GWAR, was Scum Dogs, and they showed it to me after they recorded it, and I was just like, what the hell, man? Why did I get kicked out of the band? Because I've known these guys for millions and millions of years.
Yes.
And so we go back eons, but I don't know how else you would start that history. I think it's a perfect way to start, a legacy of destruction. The Solomonizer said it's all, or the Solomonizer says it all. Here's a little something from a god to a slave. Basically, we're just telling you how it is. The Scum Dogs of the Universe is also the history of GWAR in a nutshell. I don't know if you've paid attention to the lyrics of things like Death Pod and King Queen, but it really goes in very good detail about where the band came from, the musicians, and an eclectic, weird fucking art group.
Yeah,
could make a metal record like that.
Well said. That's a very well said statement. I got a question here from Alexander Haber of Heavy New York. Shout out to you, man. Are you guys cool with ROG covering your material? It didn't seem like they asked.
Oh, the ROG, the best GWAR cover band ever from Schenectady, New York.
Yes.
ROG is okay, but they don't do what GWAR does, so we're not threatened by that by any means. If you want to see a cheap imitation of what GWAR is and represents, then sure, by all means, waste your money on a ROG show. But if you want to see the real thing, you come see GWAR.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, man. And I can attest to that because I have had two very memorable experiences seeing GWAR back with Odorous. This is in Texas with the Melvins. And then I believe it might have been Halloween or around Halloween. And then recently with the current lineup, and both experiences were amazing. Let me ask you that before we move on from Scum Dogs. That's an important record. You just talked about it. What are your favorite songs to perform live? In general, I have to say, I'm really stoked that we got to do all the songs off Scum Dogs, because a lot of that shit I'm asking, or, I want to put in the set list. We all put all kinds of different songs and material in, and but I really enjoyed playing Death Pod and King Queen, and, the band is very hesitant to play slow songs, and they just think that, the audience doesn't dig it or whatever. But, because it feels like you're dropping energy when you play something, that's a little bit more subdued. Yeah. But, I've always been a big proponent of, you're not giving your audience enough credit. Mainly I just think audiences are stupid and they'll just accept anything you force feed them. But, songs like Preschool Prostitute, I love playing that shit, and yeah. I like the groove in it, and I've seen the band, from before I was in it, and I liked seeing shit like that live. So I'm hoping we could have a more, more than just heavy metal songs, yeah,
more than just the fast heavy metal songs. But yeah, I love Maggots, Death Pod, King Queen was great to play. Preschool Prostitute's one of my favorite songs to play.
Classics.
And we finally got to bust out If I Could Be That on fucking the last couple of tours, that was tight. Hate Love Songs is another good one. All the shit where Beefcake sings is fun, you know. And then and Crushed by the Cross, which I sing. You know, that's an amazing one to play.
Hell yeah, man! There's so many to choose from. I mean, the band's been at it for so long, and the recent material holds up as well. It's all great stuff, man. It's not easy to keep going, you know, with different lineups. And I have a question here from you know, I want to get too sappy, but Undead Metal Viking wants to know how, you know, what the experience was like with GWAR moving on without Odorous and you know, Flatus Maximus. I'm sure those were huge challenges, you know.
Yeah, you know, there's it's survival is key to any, you know, any being. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't just go out and lie down and die. And if you think about GWAR as an institution, you know, we're not just four dudes in a rehearsal space, you know, in some fucking carpentry building that, you know, if we fucking break up, it's just like, oh, we'll just take your fucking combo amp home and you're done. It's like we have, you know, we have a lot of people who depend on us, you know, a lot of friends and family and, you know, sexual slaves, gimps.
Yes.
And I mean, we got a whole building full of fucking rubber dick storage. The rubber dick storage company would suffer and wouldn't be able to feed their families if GWAR just broke up.
Yeah.
And but man, the whole, what I'm getting at in this long-winded, uninteresting tirade is that GWAR has a lot going on, and it would fucking suck to shut the lights off to this thing. I mean, dude, I would be busy for the next fucking 8 months moving pallets of fucking bullshit to close these doors. So, I mean, in a sense, it's just easier to stay on tour and to stay on the road and keep making records. You know, and plus it's like, why fucking stop? You know, but hey, to be honest, when we did the Blood of Gods, you know, that was like a big part of that was, can we do this? You know, and I think nobody said it out loud, but if the record came out and it fucking sucked, then, you know, I think the band probably would have just kind of said, you know, and stepped away from it quietly and just let it all fucking die. But, you know, I think it would prove that we can still fucking do this.
Absolutely,
you know, we can still make killer fucking records that are relevant and not just, you know. But hey, man, I'm the same way. You know, bands get old. You know, change singers. So it's not for everybody. Fucking, you know, I've gotten plenty of records by my, you know, bands I really dug, and pick it up and you're like, it's not the same guy. You know, hey, it's not Legion singing for Marduk anymore. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that's your guy, and I fucking get it, you know. But, you know, fortunately for GWAR, there's a lot of fucking creative talent just kind of busting out at the seams. And, you know, and GWAR never was one person, you know. Odorous Urungus was an amazing vocalist and a creative tsunami, you know, to be around. But, you know, there was more than him at play, you know.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff going on. So I mean, we miss him dearly, you know, and it's like people always say GWAR sucks without Odorous. It's like, yeah, you're right. It totally does. You know, we would love to have him fucking back, but we can't, and we're dealing with the hand that we're fucking dealt.
Absolutely. And the thing is that you guys are killing it and keeping the legacy on, and there are people out here watching. Corley Nation, GWAR will live on. High Voltage Rock 1980, GWAR will never die. You know, I feel like we are all very grateful that you have kept the mantle going, you know. Before we move on, though, you know, obviously we miss Odorous. He was a true legend and an innovator. What do you miss most about him? Can you share some fun memories that maybe people might enjoy hearing a story or two about?
Yeah, I miss my $50 that I loaned him in when we were in Australia. and never gonna get that back. I think about it all the time. I could have had 220 Rocks and 2 Four Locos, for $50, and not gonna have it. Odorous. I mean, just there's some weird stuff. Like one night we stayed up all night drinking Angry Orchards because no other reason than like, hey, we have to drink all these. There's like a case of them back there, and on the tour bus. And it was like, why do we have to drink all these? And it wasn't really a question of like, it was just like, you just have to. So we drank 24 really fucking, high sugar content apple cider drinks, and then played a fucking show the next day, feeling amazing, going into diabetic comas and stuff like that. Just the things we would do together, the homeless people we would kill, the children we would abduct, it was just, we did it all hand in hand and gleefully, and those things I'll always miss.
Yeah, man.
Just things like, we were at a bar in Australia, and maybe Americans don't get this, but in America, you go to a bar and you sit down, and if you go to a real bar, you sit down and you don't talk to anybody, but in Australia, they don't want you to sit at the bar. They want you to go get your shit and go back to a table. So we just leaned on the bar the whole time, talking shit and fucking kept, tipping them and stuff. And they didn't, one, they don't want to get tips. So we ended up just getting in like a coin throwing match with some Aussies and basically just wouldn't walk away from the bar. Because it's like, we're Americans, we're kind of Americans. We're an American band. We're an Antarctican band.
Yeah.
And so it's like, in Antarctica, you sit at the bar. So that was just one fucking stupid story.
No, it's great, man. I mean, the people, I'm reading comments here. Gryphon 422020, weird name. But been a huge fan for decades. GWAR plays a huge part in everything I do. Keep kicking ass, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, so let's talk about this for a second, because I mentioned that I saw you, with Melvin's Unearth. You've played with a million different bands over the years. Who are some of your favorite bands to share bills with, and why?
Man, American Sharks, I think, was a fucking great one. That was really cool. They're just a great fucking 3-piece, rock trio that was just kill. Because some bands you tour with, man, you might not listen to them at all. You might come off when they really suck. You come off of a tour and you don't remember any of their fucking songs. And there's a lot of bands like that, unfortunately. But the good ones you really fucking remember. American Sharks were fucking great. I like touring with Ghoul because they help carry stuff. They feel indebted to us in some ways. So. They push our road cases and, it's cool. We play little games, I tell them that it's okay to eat catering, and I have my tour manager yell at them for eating our catering and stuff. And that's pretty good, because we don't talk to them when they're on tour with us,
right?
But they're a good band to watch,
Yeah, they're a great band.
And, who else? We've been trying to get Midnight to do some shit with us.
Ooh, yeah, they're good.
I think they think we're a joke, but maybe we just need to give them some, like, fucking crack, because I don't think they smoke crack, which is stupid because I've been to Cleveland, Ohio, and, where was that fucking place? Now That's Class? I mean, how are you going to come up into town with a club like that and not smoke, hard cocaine? So when those guys want to get down with some, real satanic worship and shit, we can smoke crack and worship Satan, because it's fucking cool. Have you ever smoked it before?
No, but what's really fucking funny, and I'm not even fucking joking around, is I just watched a crack deal go down in front of my place before I walked in here to do this. So.
Oh, well, you should have, and sometimes it's like a crime of opportunity. You should have gone up there and been like, hey, you got any, for me? and you know, try to get like a 50 rock and be like, well, I only got 220s. And, you know, they'll come up off it. They'll haggle a little bit. It doesn't take much. You can get really high for like $10. But you won't get high for very long. But it's all you need is just one or two good hits, and then you're like, the next thing you know, you're throwing your friend off the porch. You know,
I saw it as a badge.
It feels good.
That I saw
it feels really good.
They didn't think I was a narc. I'm just happy they didn't think I was a narc. So, you know, that's
no, you look down. You're down.
I'm down, man.
But seriously though, you should try it. It's not, if you do it one time, it's not gonna kill you.
I'll tell you.
And
what,
it's only like,
you come down here, we'll do it together. I think these guys are still out here.
Okay, all right, we can. It's funny. I mean, that's why I do. I don't do it because I'm a drug addict. I do it because I think it's funny, you know. And I think that's kind of like, you know, some people do it because they have to and they ignore their kids and stuff like that. It's like I don't do any of that. I do it to have a good laugh, you know. I'm just horsing around with the fellas, you know.
Hell yeah, man.
Just having a good time, throwing back a couple suds and fucking smoking a little rock, you know. It's cool shit.
Oh man, yo, let me ask you, talking about fucking partying and drinking and shit, how's the GWAR bar been holding up? I read that it's open for outdoor business again. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can go to GWAR bar now and fucking actually get some shit. They do not sell crack there, unfortunately. There's weird laws about that, but I feel like that would probably affect food sales too. So it's probably not a good idea to mix, you know, stuff like that and food. But no, the GWAR bar food, man, has come a long way. It's fucking tight. You know, you go up there to get drunk and meet some people, and you know, you don't have to be a fucking GWAR fan to go to the GWAR bar, and it's just a fucking heavy metal rock and roll bar, you know. So fucking check it out, throw some, you know, talk some shit with your buds and hang out, you know.
Yeah, man, that's so.
I've already been banned. I don't pay my tab, so.
Well, you know what? People should go out there and fucking hang tight there until GWARbecue comes back, because who knows when that's coming back. At least that'll hold them over. Let's talk about the GWARbecue. That's been a treat for fans over the years. You know, you had bands like Clutch and Down and the Dickies play. Hopefully we'll see that. Hopefully we'll see that come back in 2021. Who knows? You know.
Oh yeah, god damn. Yeah, hopefully we can bring something like that shit back. I mean, you know, we last year, instead of doing a GWARbecue, the GWAR bar had a ROG show, a Cheap Imposter GWAR band play, and that was like some special shit to the fans, you know. And I think that maybe we can try to do some more stuff like that. But the big thing with the GWARbecue is that it became, you know, a money pit at some point in time. And I think we lost sight of that. We need to do more of like a grassroots type of venue and stop trying to grow it so big, you know. And there's a chance that we might fucking take a big risk and go, you know, blow our retirement on another one. But, you know, I think it's more important to see something just happen that's a little bit more inclusive, a little bit more fan oriented, you know, because we can make a bigger show, but you lose the intimacy, you know. And you know, because I mean, if we have a smaller show, I can probably have sex with most of you. But you know, if I do a show with 5,000 people, I'm only one man. You know, I can't get through all 5,000. Not in a single day backstage. So that's what we're looking forward to in 2021. We'll have an intimate concert / gangbang.
Yes. And maybe it'll end up on Pornhub, man. Maybe.
And you know, if you're feeling there's no hang-ups in the pleasure chamber, you know, if you just want to hang out and watch and don't want to get penetrated, that's cool too. You know, so yeah, come on by. We'll do it in August. We'll do it in most of August.
I hope so, man. Because you get so many cool bands that you end up having on the bill as well. Let me ask you, what's the most insane thing you've experienced at a GWAR show, whether it involved a fan or someone on stage or off stage? You got any crazy stories you could share with us before we wrap it up?
The most insane thing I've ever seen on stage, man. Fucking. One time we had some security, or no, these fucking dumbasses in Florida had this club where they had the two PA towers on the ground, and in between the fucking PA towers, they put this stupid like bike rack fucking barricade thing. And so, you know, when you're fucking crowd surfing and moshing and shit, you know, you're going to go through the barricade and you usually just run back around and do it all over again. You know, like you do at a fucking concert. Go nuts. But when you fall in this thing, there was no way to go but try and crawl your way back across the crowd. So people were just trying to get up on stage. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. You see what happens to the villains that come up. If you come on stage and you're not in GWAR, you're going to get really fucked up. And that's like a totally truthful thing. I've seen Odorous swing a fully weighted mic stand at somebody's, you know, at somebody's head, you know, and as it's been proven that singers in Richmond actually kill people. But, you know, dive deep on that one. Think about it for a second. But I'd have to say that anyway, security was like, they were refusing to go down to the barricade. They were like suit and ties. They had all these fucking like nice vests and shit on. And they fucking got up on stage and just tried to stand there. Well, Ballsack like shoved one of them. And then the guy fucking like tried to push Ballsack back. And of course he like face palmed him in the fucking face, dude. And it was hilarious, you know? And then the security just fucking quit. So then Bone Snapper was just up front and, you know, I whispered in his ear, you know, you got to pick the weakest, most defenseless person in the crowd, and you got to beat the shit out of them so no one else, like, tries to fucking come up here. So he did. You know, I saw him punch a 15-year-old girl right in the fucking mouth. Oh, man. It was great. Like, 18 times.
Well, people watching, man, you got to fucking be smart about what you're going to do, all right? Just try to be careful out there when you're at these shows, because if you're like you said, if you get up,
it's all fun and games until GWAR fucks your day up.
Yeah, man. If you're not in GWAR and you get on stage, you're gonna get fucked up. So that's the lesson learned here. I just we're gonna wrap it up now because we're at that final few seconds of the hour. I want to thank you so much for doing this with me. And you know, we'll meet up sometime and fucking do some crack and do some other cool shit together, man. I hope we can do that at some point. But oh, look at that! He's getting his mask back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back out to work, so I gotta get my COVID mask back on.
That's right.
These sweet double D's. Hey, what were we talking about? Oh
hey,
yeah.
Man, get back to Burger King over there, right? And we're going to be standing by on all things GWAR to come, whether it's new products or new material, because I hope that there's new material in the works. I don't know if there is. Maybe you could let us know, but I hope there's new material in the works.
There is some new stuff in the works, you know. We're gonna release a whole bunch of bad stuff before the good stuff comes out, just to kind of, you know, I want to set the bar, you know, lower the bar a little bit so it's more exciting when the metal record comes out.
Yes. Okay, well, everybody watching, if you missed any part of it, this whole thing's going to be up on YouTube in the next week or so. So you could start from the beginning if you wanted to hear some funny stories that we just talked about, some interesting shit. And it'll be on the St. Vitus Instagram channel in about 5 minutes from the beginning. I thank you again, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Cool, and you know, you can follow my adventures. I think I'm gonna start another tour where it's like Cinderella, but so I'm gonna like try and fit these on every pair of puppies I see, you know, consensually, non-consensually, and see if I can find who they fit. And then just out of curiosity, I'm not gonna do anything, you know, I just want to know, just so I can be like, oh, that's you? Cool. Because, you know, just like anything in life, it's about the journey, not the destination.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. And on that note, you take care, my friend, all right?
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody. That was a blast. Thank you to John Freeman for helping me put that together, and thanks for watching. This whole thing will be back. This whole thing will be up on the St. Vitus channel from the beginning if you missed any of it, and it'll be on my YouTube channel. Look me up, Christopher Enriquez, on YouTube, and all the episodes are on there. So check those out. And thanks again, and stay safe. And like Pustulus said, wear a mask, even if it's a double D purple bra like the one that he has. You can put it on your face, do whatever the fuck you want with it. You know, it'll keep you safe. Peace out, everybody.